enough serious. This is just a couple of things from the playwright Hanoch Levine, who wrote the funniest plays that were also the saddest plays at the same time. And they're just magnificent. And this first one, it's an early play of his. It's called, the translation from Hebrew is The Rubber Merchants. And I got this great inspiration. It's called it The Rubber Barons. And the plot in general is a man who inherits from his father diabetes and 30,000 condoms, which he tries to get rid of with no success. And this scene, that I really love it. It presented a problem of translation. It begins with the opening of the Kaddish, the memorial prayer for the dead, and closes with it. Now, the problem is that I have never heard, ever, the Kaddish translated. I think, even in the most reformed synagogues, they transliterate it in the prayer book. My theory is it's on the premise that we're not really sure that God understands English, but we know He understands Aramaic. But I did find, and the point is that in the Hebrew, it begins with the opening of the Kaddish and ends with the closing of the Kaddish and goes seamlessly, as they say, from the beginning to the end and then back in. So I did finally found a translation of it and used it, but I opened it with, okay. He begins with Yit Gadal V'Yit Kadash, which is the opening of the Kaddish, and the rest of it. And then, and salvation will grow, and the Messiah will come, and the situation's no good, Papa. No good. No drugstore will give more than £3 for a pack worth 8. They take advantage of me because I'm not some famous factory, and because I've got to get rid of all the stock, which means throwing 50,000 into the sea, and individual customers right away suspect that I want to sell them retread rubbers. And they'd rather pay more pounds a pack and fuck with peace of mind. And anyway, and anyway, who's interested in such an enormous stock guaranteed for only 4 years? And you have to be careful to keep it cool in this hot country of ours. And the 4 years are passing, time is flying, the condom is cracking, and so is life. And if there weren't enough conundrums in our world, you and your condoms add one more, because what was in your head? If you were thinking of an investment, Papa, what's the investment here? You see yourself, why not an apartment or a partnership in a business? And if it's for going to whores, doesn't everybody know a whore brings her own condom? So what then, to women who aren't whores? How much could you do, Papa? How much? And why buy it all in advance for 100 years? What for? What's the panic? And why rubbers of all things? Were you scared that the world rubber production was on the brink of disaster? Or that there would be a blockade and a war and there wouldn't be any imports? And who fucks like a maniac during a blockade, Papa? How long does a blockade last? And if there is a blockade, why not cans of sardines, Papa? What heritage did you leave me? What did you stick me with in this world? Or even without the rubbers, there's nothing I can make. Make peace in this world. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yom and this is the end. It's one of my, it's all these penultimates. It's Hanoch Levine died 10 years ago in auditions for his last play. But his penultimate play is called Requiem, and it's based on 3 Chekhov stories. I've managed to track down 2 of them, but I don't know what the 3rd one is. At any rate, there's a scene with 2 whores traveling from one small town to another, and they're talking about life, their profession, everything. Now, the problem was that what's interesting is Hanoch died of prostate cancer, and this is the funniest scene in the play, but it describes perfectly, as you're laughing hysterically, if you see, my God, it's describing his own death, which is, but he does it, and this was the problem, by using the Yiddish endearment live. So it's pushkale, pushkale, makes up words, and ushkale, kushkale. So the question was, how do we manage to do that in English? So this is what came out. Oi, little noodle, not forever will you play in the boodle. One day you will feel no goodle. Some painful cadoodle. A doctor will make an intrudal. Find an occludal. Condition concludal. Beyond vicissitudal. Kiss goodbye to strudel. A hug for canoodle. And whoops, end of the whole kit and caboodle.